or not. Oh, there we go. Okay, finally. Wow, sometimes it takes forever for the show to go live.
Are we live?
That's what it says right over there. That's right, everybody. Get ready. We're going to have a hoity-toity night of Bigfoot nonsense as we welcome back our superfan Week 4 co-host, the Grand Master, Mr. Collier Wilmes. Leproticious. We never really decided on that. That's right.
Leprosyphilis.
Leprosyphilis, it very well could be. Film perspective on Bigfoot movies. Who, what, sometimes why, it can all make sense with a skilled guide at the helm. From the early years of really crappy Yeti movies to the sketchy found film genre, we're going to touch on them all right here tonight, along with a long-awaited Squatchers Lounge mantra. You're watching the Squatchers Lounge podcast. That's right. And I'm one of the hosts of this whole mess, the Reverend Jeff Kelly. That's right. Bigfoot spiritual guide through the dirty underwear of life. With us tonight, as I said, super fan, Mr. Collier Williams, Mr. Writer, Director, Bigfoot actor, soon to be podcastist, and all around good guy, Mr. Collier Williams. How you doing, buddy? That's it. There's that smile.
I'm doing absolutely fabulous. I am working on my giant flashlight portal to open the world of the nether Sasquatch-eye, whatever.
Sasquatch, yeah, Sasquatch.
I gotta break through the defenses of the little Ewoks first.
The Bigfoot. Yeah, you gotta get through the Ewoks before you can get to the Sasquatch. Richard Allen, you're killing me with the updates from Matthew Johnson because I hate being right, but you saw something I didn't see coming, and oh my goodness, the woo of the Johnson is just so perfectly laid out that not only do you have to wait till April to hear this magical, life-changing message that the Woo Squatch have for you, but you're going to have to go to his conference and you're going to have to buy his book. Oh, Lord.
You know what that means. All aboard the Woo train. Woo, woo.
It is literally going to be the Bible of Woofoot. I knew he was going to be the Messiah somehow. I just didn't know he was going to write the Woofoot Bible, and how you too can join the Woo religion and never be laughed at by your friends again. Well, this is my religion. You can't live. Look, I have the Woofoot Bible right here. The Reverend, quote unquote, Jeff here is the first one to tell you it ain't so hard to become a religion. Wow. But thanks, Richard. Seriously, you're keeping on top, abreast of the situation, as they say.
And you always give me material to
dude.
Just poke fun at.
Sometimes it's just a fantastic voyage. Slide, slippity slide. All right, it's time for a little bit of newsy. It's a strange week in the Squatchers Lounge news. I'm sorry for it, folks. The voice is a little bit off tonight, but we're going to get through this anyhow. Police set up a camera in Kansas to find a mountain lion, and then what the is happening? Wow. Here's a photo of a nice skunk in Garner, Kansas, captured on a remote camera, set up to investigate reports of a mountain lion in the area. Well, okay, they've got a couple of more trail cams out there, and all of us, well, look, hey, they caught themselves a coyote. Yeah, baby. Coyote.
Grandma.
Grandma with some blades. I mean, is this Assassin's Creed Grandma? I'm not really sure what's going on there. And that gas mask?
Not Grandma really just farted, so, and they're on their way to capture Grandma.
1958's Yeti. There you go. We're going to be talking about those old horrible. And Grandma?
That's a Dogman, Reverend. See? Dogman exists.
Yeah, but you got the human bottom at least. At least this is the right. But what the hell is that? So apparently, obviously, somebody has a costume rental place close by, and they found out where the police cameras were and had a little bit of friendly fun with them. Congratulations, and nobody got shot. My favorite was the guy with the gas mask on. What's he wearing?
I like the one with the grandma.
The grandma with the blades is kind of slick.
Hey, Sonny, I'm about to cut you like 1995.
Oh, it's crazy. So the Sun out and over in our UK affiliate sent us this one here that tells us a real wild beast. Bizarre moment. A forest photo trap snaps a naked man high on LSD who thinks he's a tiger. Oh yeah, that's right, baby. Photo edited balls is what you're seeing right there. The man identified as Merrick H is believed to have been high on LSD after taking the psychedelic drug to treat his depression. Well, that's one way not to be depressed. Hey, honey, you want to hallucinate today? Sure. I'm a little depressed.
But, Reverend, I have a question after this. What do naked man tigers dream of when they're on an LSD high? Man tigers dream of.
A Photoshop caught a flash of the 21-year-old man running stark naked on all fours through a forest in Poland. Well, there you go. In Poland, I'm sorry, I blame the UK for this one, but they're the ones reporting it. According to authorities, Merrick from the Czech Republic town of Librik discovered his true personality when he stripped naked a tiger. Wow. Well, there you go, dude. If that's what makes you happy, then be happy. You know, no one can say you're not a tiger. One or have the DNA of one, but damn, you sure do prance around like a pretty tiger. Yay, Poland. Here in America, this guy would have taken like 6 slugs by 3 p.m. and they'd have been having coffee by 3:15. So, you know, at least everybody doesn't kill their citizens. Yay. I'm sorry.
But these cameras did find a mountain lion at least.
Dude, yeah, straight up. Talk about a segue. Woo, you know how to do those, huh? Found on a closed road in a glacier park, mountain goat and a cougar fell to their deaths following an epic struggle. I was like, yeah, right. Seriously, one got hit by a car, the other one was eaten and got hit by a car too, right? That's what had to have happened. But, you know, not so much. When you look at the goat, when it hits with such an impact that it literally blows the outer shell of the horn off to the animal and it bleeds to death, that's what that big red pool of stuff is. That animal was alive when that horn came off of it.
If it didn't snap its neck.
Well, it was still alive because the blood pumped out. That's not just running out, that's pumped out of there. So that's sad face. And the poor cougar still has a big ass mouthful of mountain goat. I'm gonna get your tasty ass. You just sit right there. I'm gonna get your tasty ass. He probably spent half the day stalking that goat. Just wait, he can't see me yet. I'm gonna get him. Oh, here we go. He's close. Oh shit! I mean, that's pure terror.
At least he had a mouthful of fur to prove it.
Yeah, that goat was not a happy camper. Neither one of them was when they hit the ground, but that's where they fell from.
The goat definitely drew the short end of the.
Reddit has its faults because it's a God blessed time vampire, but boy, it has some stuff like this that you'd miss if you didn't go there otherwise. Okay, so here we are. That's right. Orangutan Central, the Sede Prudente nature photography site on Facebook. Sorry, I get all snooty when I use them big words like that. Rare sight of a Bornean orangutan making a necklace out of leaves while building its nest for the night at Dunham Valley. This is pimp. They're literally making like almost like a Mayan feather friggin' necklace out of all the foliage that they're going to make. I can't play this because it'll end up being copyrighted and we'll end up losing it anyhow. But the Facebook page is there. Everybody's there. It's been shared all over the Bigfoot groups. Ian Redmond is the one that shared it initially. He's a hell of a guy. He's an advocate for everybody. That dude got run over by an elephant and he went back into the field like 2 months later. The dude who's got nuts of steel. That's what I can say about that. But this was definitely cool. You'd have to see the video. Check it out for sure.
Not censored tiger balls. Nuts of steel.
That's right. How? This was another great one. How stuff works. Why do gorillas build new nests every night? Well, because they never visit the same spot twice, at least not Collier and I had a little conversation off the air about this back and forth as we read the article. One of the most common ways that wildlife experts estimate the number of gorillas in the area is to count the number of nests, which is often easier to spot than the actual apes themselves. Well, when you live in a dense forest like that, imagine that.
Mhm.
They're actually looking for a few hundred of these gorillas in a mountaintop that they know are there, and they still can't find these things when they don't want to be found. Anyhow, gorilla nest building usually occurs in trees or on the ground, which we just recently saw footage of them building them in trees for the first time on thermal, which was really fantastic. And these apes use branches and leaves as their mattresses. Usually, ground nests are made of, herbaceous plants, but the materials vary according to the season, what's available. Generally, they construct their beds more often on the ground than in trees because the nest building behavior isn't unique to gorillas. In fact, all great apes build some sort of nest. So if Sasquatch was and is, a great primate, then it's going to want to build some sort of a nest too. Now, a giant teepee? Yeah, I don't think so. Not necessarily in my opinion, are these great big teepees their nest, because just like the gorilla, a family of 5 or 6 of these Sasquatch are going to eat out their vegetation pretty quick. Even if it's 0.6 miles a day like a trooper gorilla would, they're still going to eat it out pretty quick, but the size and as much food as they would have to consume.
Indeed.
Yes. However, the handmade lodgings, that was yummy. That's that lung lemon. Mm-hmm. However, the handmade lodgings are more like sleeping bags than they are beds. Since they're intended for temporary use, great apes practice nomadic living patterns, migrating from place to place in accordance with fruit or vegetation in abundance. On average, the gorilla troops would travel 0.6 miles, 400 to 1,000 meters a day. So basically, they're eating and scooting and eating and scooting and eating and scooting, and wherever they end up for the night, they're just like, let's make a bed. I can sit here and eat.
These leaves are very comfy. I'm just gonna sit down for the night.
Yeah, these are kind of spongy. Guys. These are spongy and it's not raining, so here I'm okay. Maybe the younger ones or the smaller ones climb up in trees because they don't want to get eaten or beaten up by, invading giant freaking gorillas in the middle of the night. Could you imagine being in a gorilla troop or other gorilla troops attack you in the middle of the night? I mean, that would just be like
to imagine being beat up by a gorilla in general.
But even just being a gorilla and having these gorilla troops attack you in the middle of the night because, well, that's what they do. Crazy, dude. Bigfoot's attacking Bigfoots live on the next Squatchers Lounge podcast. No, that's not true.
I wish it was.
Yeah, that would be a fantastic freaking show, would it not? Paranormal activity. Simon Fraser, professor studies UFO, ghost, and Bigfoot hunters. Associate Professor Paul Kingsbury has found some paranormal investigators to be skeptics. Well, imagine that. Most people who investigate things are skeptics. I'm not a skeptic because I've seen one. That's my unfortunate station in this study, is I'm one of a few people who can say for sure that it tweren't no bear, tweren't no man in a suit, twere a Bigfoot with a big set of hairy nuts. Tore a Bigfoot.
And they weren't
That's what
censored.
I can tell you. Believe me or not, yeah, they weren't digitally censored. That's where it was. It was. I done seen me a Bigfoot. So I can't really be a skeptic and say, well, they might exist because I know they exist. However, to be a skeptic for individual accounts, does it add up? If it all adds up, cool. But I still have to be a skeptic to make sure it adds up, because much like in this new show called People of Earth, there are people who want to be contactees. They want to be contactees so badly that they'll make up a story as though they are contactees so that they can be in the group and speak with the group and be part of the group that actually has been contactees. And I believe that happens quite a bit in the Bigfoot world. Encounter stories, everybody loves them, but if they're not true, then they're no good to the actual science of the matter. They just kind of muddy the waters. That's my 2 cents on it anyhow. So, yeah, the associate professor in human geography. Human geography? Okay. Well, nut job is the early days of a 4-year-long study into the way people set in search of the paranormal in BC and across North America. So, you read this one. What did you think about this one, Collier?
Why do people study anything? Perhaps because they're freaking interested in it.
Right, exactly. You raise an interest, now you're a nut job. If you study anything in excess, you might be addicted. You know, and that's another problem. This stuff can be time-consumingly addictive to the point that it can hurt your family. It can hurt your relationships. We know lots of people who've been divorced once they discover Bigfoot.
Mm-hmm.
It's very, very paranormal, the ghost, all that stuff. People
argue constantly with their significant about the subject.
It's real. Yeah, you got to make sure that you're in a relationship with somebody who's into whatever you're into, or it ain't going to work.
Or at least willing to
you're right.
to put up with it.
Yeah, you're going to be screwed for life. Finally, tonight on the news, wrapping it up. And I've been rambling on for 15 minutes with a friggin' sore throat, but we're going to get this through anyhow. Come on, you bastard. Chug-a-lug-a-lug-a-lug-a, chug-a-lug-a-lug-a-lug.
I think you can.
There we go.
See?
KIMT.com. That's right. You know what they say about monsters with big feet. Bigfoot, the Lost Coast Tapes versus exists. It's a theoretical analysis of, which is a better film and why. And, if you're given the choice of these two movies, well, Exists is the only Bigfoot movie present.
Yeah. When Rev messaged this, I was just like, Exists, hands down.
Right. Bigfoot, he does have a cameo in the Lost Coast Tapes, but if you haven't seen it yet, spoiler alert. Okay. It doesn't really have a Bigfoot in it, but Exists. That jump down right there, dude. That scene right there where it jumps down onto the trailer that's been knocked down off of the cliff is just like so legit, man. That's scary. That literally scared me. I was like, if that thing comes down here, I'm gonna have to kill it. And sure enough, it came down there. After a while, it would just like, okay, they've had enough. I'm gonna leave them alone now before they kill me. No, this thing wanted you dead.
And when a Bigfoot wants you dead, you're probably going to be dead, especially if you're these kids.
Like a pimp at a hooker on payday. If he wants your ass dead, you're dead. That's right. Wow. Yeah, it's one of those friggin' nights, people. Okay, that's going to do it for the news. Hey, everybody, you got to get ready. We've bugged the man. And for months, whoa. That's right. We've been already bowing to the guru for months. So he has gone out of his way to see to it to create the first ever Squatchers Lounge mantra. So right now we're going to get over to our quasi-theorist, the king of quasi.
Roll, please.
That's right. The guru himself, Mr. Dean Coopers. Will you please just get to where I want you to go so I can get on with this mess? There we go. Mr. Dean Cooper's Quasi-Theories with Dean Cooper. No, see, it's just being stupid now.
Internet's trying to interfere.
It's trying.
We will not let it interfere.
And now, Quasi-Theories from a Quasi-Scientist with your host, Dean Cooper.
A Squatcher's Mantra. I have been asked by the Right Reverend Jeffrey Kelly and several other members of the Squatcher's Lounge to devise a mantra for those searching for the elusive beast, that a repetition of it would help to calm them in their frequent mental typhoons over all things Squatchy. A small subcommittee of the lounge has insisted that I be their guru, presumably due to my long white hair and beard. It must be the white hair and beard, since there is no other rational reason that I am aware of. What exactly does the word mantra mean? Mantra is a Sanskrit word dating back to well before 1000 BC. It is derived from the Sanskrit word manas, which means to think, and also means mind as such. The English word man is derived from the same root. The second syllable, tra, means tool. Mantra therefore means tool to think by. In practice, a mantra is used to focus the mind and enable it to focus on the object of the mantra. More broadly, as the great tantric scholar Sir John Woodruff wrote, mantra in its most basal sense is the world viewed as and in its aspect of sound. Explaining that statement would be an essay in itself, not really amenable to a quasification by me. The mantra most familiar to many of us is the Sanskrit word Om. Any typical yoga class, and the class ended by sitting in the lotus posture for a few minutes, trying to calm down after sticking your feet behind your head, or done the downward facing dog while the teacher walks behind you, obviously looking at everybody's butt, you probably ended the meditation by chanting Om. Although a mantra is usually in Sanskrit, typically a few words that are chanted repeatedly, the basic idea is the same as repeating Hail Marys or Our Fathers is to Catholics. It quiets your mind so that you may become receptive to higher forces. Applying the concept of mantra to finding Bigfoot seems more than a bit woo to me, but here goes. I constructed a 7-word mantra that, once you learn it, can easily be expanded to encompass more verses. I made it 7 words long because, as everyone knows, 7 is a lucky number. The first 3 words mean come by here and are from the African American Creole language of the South Carolina coastal islands. The meaning of the next 2 will be obvious, as will be the way it is chanted. The mantra should be repeated loudly for as long as you are out hunting our forest friends. A silent mental repetition should be used if the presence of bears or cougars is suspected. Wolves would suspect you of being a lost pack member and call back in response, so you'd be safe from them. I shall now reveal to you the mantra. Listen with devotion and an open heart. Feel free to join in once you have it memorized. Kumbaya, my squatch. Kumbaya. Kumbaya, my squatch. Kumbaya. Kumbaya, my squatch. Kumbaya. Oh, squatch. Kumbaya. You may read the text of this on my blog at bhaideen.com. That's BHAIDIN.com.
There you have it, folks. Kumbaya, my squatch. That's your Squatcher's Lounge mantra from the King of Quasi, Mr. Dean Hoover. Thank you, sir.
At long last, we can chant it into the night.
That's right. Around the campfire, we shall sit. Kumbaya, my squatch. We can actually get the Kumbaya, my squatch. Kumbaya, my squatch.
Kumbaya, my squatch.
Kumbaya, my squatch. This may actually work out. I was kind of worried at first, but the more you repeat it, it actually kind of works out. And then you can get the whole Gregorian monk fucking screaming it from the top of the ridge tops. Oh, dude, yeah, dude. We can really we'll have to get out to the Sierras here as soon as the spring breaks the snow and check it out. Woo. Okay, it's time to get some shout outs to the lounge and say hi to our peeps. Make sure everybody knows what's going on out there. Let me get a little sip of my Christmas cheer. Yeah. Everybody knows I don't drink, so it's whatever. Okay, let's see here who's hanging out there. Hey, that looks like a new name. Norm Van Edward Hall. Wow, you got a long ass name. Glad you were here as well. I went to Jamaica last year and I caught me a case of the Dan Hode.
The what?
The Dan Hode. I don't know what they gave me a shot and all of a sudden Dan Hode went away. So we're glad. Yeah, you got to sub the Dan Hode. That's right. He needs a bunch of subs.
I hope that Dan Hode is here to stay.
That's right. I'm hoping Dan Hode is here. It's like herpes on a hooker. Dan Hode's here to stay. Star Shine, she's hanging out with us as well.
I hope she's hiding from the Canadian apocalypse.
Yeah, make sure you hide from that Dan Hode. Once you get it, you can never get rid of it. There's my drunken Irish dad. There's Ryan McGinty. I'm glad you're hanging on with it there, fella. Let's see here. Mr. Viking himself, Don Rife. I can't believe you're not watching Vikings. You're actually watching my show instead. God bless you, my man. I'm glad you are here with us. Hey, look, it's Kush Tiger. You know, what's this? Have you ever seen?
There's plenty of tigers here on the Squatchers Lounge podcast.
Yeah, lots of tigers tonight. Kush is our man. He's here on a regular basis. We're glad you're with us. There's the Sam Squanch Rivera. I'm glad you're with us hanging out tonight. Now batting third base, our center fielder, Mr. Kurt Harris. Oh, every single week I get this skin all over my damn screen. I get the alcohol wipes out and I try and get it to go away, but every single week that little smudge there.
It's sending you a message, Rev. That is here to stay.
Screen. That's right. Of course, our king of quasi himself, Mr. Dean Cooper, the guru. So
Thank you for our mantra.
Kumbaya,
We're out of sync. Turn it.
We'll have to practice it, dude. That's how that all works. All right. Well, we've got the life and times of JCM. That's right. Jim and Moore, the Jesus Christ of Monterey Bay. Yeah, he didn't get around to a new camp of tips for stupids for us this week, but of course,
and shame on you, sir. I'm scolding
Sean,
you now.
Sean McNear, not McFar, but Sean McNear. He's hanging out tonight.
Stay near, my friend.
Stay close to your devils, my friends. They'll keep you warm. Let's see here. Joseph Kitcherman. Hey, if you would definitely be kitchen if you were a woman. Joseph Kitchen woman, get it? No. All right. Josephine
Shame
Kitchen
on
woman.
you, Rev.
That's right. Joseph Kitcherman and Josephine Kitchen woman. That's how that would have worked out. But it didn't. So I'm an idiot. Rock City Marco's in the house. How you doing, buddy? Glad
hey, Rock!
Let's see here. We're scrolling up. I just keep hearing my drunken Irish dad in my head every time I see Ryan McGinty on the screen. Cameron Young, that's right, historian, researcher, our good friend from Canada.
And the living, walking Bigfoot encyclopedia.
That's right.
Everybody who has questions, go to Cameron.
He'll be with us here next week again for another super fan show of his, because his last one was so good we invited him back. That's right. 'Tis the season to be super fans. Fa la 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 la.
Squatch.
Squatch. There you go. We're getting halfway up the mirror. I know I'm going to miss some people because, well, there's one. Tom himself. That's right. He's here himself. Tom himself was here. Himself? Yeah, he was here. I saw him myself, himself, right there on the screen. Tom himself.
No.
Yeah, no lie, dude. He brought a turkey for everybody.
Tom
Merry
himself.
Christmas, everyone. Oh, no, wait. He had some crutches he was hanging on to. That's right. No, that was Tim. I don't know. I get so confused this time of year.
So Tim has crutches, but Tom is himself.
So many ways to jerk at my heartstrings and make me cry. I'm sick of it. Rod Debris in a place to be. How you doing there, pal?
He always.
He's always out there in the place to be. And
He's
if y'all
also
were talking
cookies, guys.
Earlier on, cookies. Oh yeah,
triple chocolate chip, dude.
Dude, there's gonna be cookies in the house. There's gonna be a hot time in the city tonight, boys. Well, if you didn't leave me a message, I couldn't say hi to you because I didn't know you were there. But I'm glad that everybody that is out there is in and saying hello. Just click in the chat room and say hi, people. If you're watching live, the end of every show we get. Hi, Kyle. At the end of every show, we get like 120 views, but like 18 people actually say hi in the lounge chat box. I can't figure it out. Don't be scared. We ain't nothing but normal people here talking about Sam Squanch.
They're too busy watching your show, Rev. Come on.
Well, that very well could be as well. It's the voice. Trust me, it's not the face. It's the voice. They're listening. Anyhow, we're on to Mr. Collier Williams, director and presenter of Bigfoot in film perspective.
I don't know who Collier Williams is, but I know Collier Wilmes.
Well, damn it, spell your name right and we'll be all right one of these days. I know. Wilmes. Why is it ES? It should be US or...
I do not know. Take that up with my family.
Everybody's ignorant. Stop.
Yeah, my family's ignorant. Stop being ignorant, Wilmes.
You're insulting my family. Stop it.
What you talking about, Wilmes?
That's right. What you talking about, Wilmes?
I'm talking about Bigfoot movies, damn it.
Yeah. So, Bigfoot's been around a long, long time. Bigfoot's been around long before 1967. Stop telling people.
We're at 60 plus years in Bigfoot movies, if you count.
That's exactly right. I mean, we've been talking about the big hairy man in the woods or on the mountaintops since the early to mid 40s.
No, actually, it's later than that. I believe the first one that I've come across, at least, came around in 1954. It was the snow creature, I believe.
The snow creature, which has been remade like 118 times by 9,000 different directors.
Oh, because it is the oh so great public domain.
Which means they get a free
script. Whatever the hell we want with it and not pay a dime.
They get a free script and all they have to do is refilm it with no original thought whatsoever. Nice. I never thought about it that way, but that's why we have this guy on to put those things into perspective.
So I have something going on in my head.
Oh, most people do. Most Bigfooters are Gump plus 25 IQ points. So, I mean, I'll give you, most people are in the moderate to higher IQ bracket, I would give it. Some people not so much, but for the most part, anybody who stayed long term into this, has to have some kind of ability to separate fantasy, reality, and that takes some intelligence to be able to do.
Mm-hmm. But anyhow,
moving right along,
we're here to talk about Bigfoot movies.
The Bigfoot movies.
Just one thing that I've noticed over the years, it's evolved as a subset or subgenre in film in general. Most of it encompasses like the horror genre, but it's branched off into other genres, like comedy with stuff like Harry and the Hendersons. Well, kids movies, stuff like that. And I wanted to go over like the decades in Bigfooting. The one decade I feel like it was the most appropriate to start off with is the 70s, because that's when the Bigfooting, I believe, really took off in pop culture. Indeed.
Very well. Yes, I'm sorry. Yeah, we've got some kind of a weird video thing going on here where your audio is way out of whack with your video. Reset your video. Just turn it off, turn it back on. It'll probably be a whole lot better. It's just
darn you, technical difficulty.
I keep seeing your mouth moving, and then so give me that probably fixed the problem for me.
Poppycock.
There you go. There we're back in sync a little better. Sorry about that. Like I said, I was trying to let you finish because I've noticed in replay I tend to talk over people, and I've been trying not to do that.
Yeah.
So, anyhow, moving right along. Yeah, I mean, film is always, does art reflect reality, or does reality reflect art? I don't know, but it always seems like once a new Bigfoot movie comes out, somebody lives that encounter.
Pretty much. I feel like it's a little bit of both, because with the Bigfoot stuff, you got plenty of stuff to draw upon. I obviously can talk from experience. I've researched the subject quite a lot while I was developing this film over the past 5 years, and so I've had to take as a filmmaker, you have to take the stuff that inspires you and sort of have to theatricalize it, if that's a word.
Theatrical.
You guys know what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah, we can make up words here on the Squatchers Lounge podcast. Sure, nobody cares.
Exactly. I'm copyrighting that word, by the way. So anytime anybody uses it, they have to pay me $10.
A nickel. Just a nickel.
Oh, fine.
I'll take a nickel for every time somebody uses the word, Tricerahumapus.
Okay. trying to make me look like money.
Everybody's a money grubbing whore. It's all good. That's why we work.
Exactly. And so I can definitely see where you're coming at, where like people will see that movie and then live that encounter, sort of becoming the people you talked about earlier that want to be a part of the whole Bigfoot community, but they haven't had an encounter, so they have to come up with their own encounter.
Exactly. And then when you talk to those people, and it's like, that encounter sounds really, really familiar. And they're just like, yeah, it was my cousin, and it happened to him, but
it was my cousin. That Bigfoot just literally picked him up and bit his face off. There's a movie that reminds me of. It's Abomination.
Somebody pulled me aside at a party one time and told me that their cousin, they were going into this cabin with some friends, and they didn't know it but at the time, but they had run over a baby Bigfoot. And the whole time they were at this cabin, the Bigfoot daddy was like stalking them and trying to get revenge for them killing his Bigfoot baby, and 3 of his friends died, and he was the only one that got away. I was like, yeah, did this happen in 2011? Yeah, how did you know? I'm like, oh, because my good friend Eduardo Sanchez told me that story.
And it was the greatest Bigfoot story of all time.
Exactly. It was just like, wow, people actually will tell that story about, and it's like telephone, the game telephone. The story changes from every single person it goes to the next person. I'm sure my Bigfoot campfire stories, as tall-taled as some of them are, really get tall-taled when they get retold around campfires out there while people are Bigfoot hunting. And I'm hoping that's what people are doing. If you don't have access to stream it, which would be fantastic to stream Bigfoot campfire stories, like literally while you're sitting around a campfire out Bigfooting, but to retell those stories, because most of them, 99% of them, were based on, events that were told true to me or events that I heard true at some point. So, that becomes the question. How much do filmmakers take those types of things and then turn them into movies?
Well, I know I do.
Well, that's right. Where we had that big long interview with Eduardo Sanchez on BEW with our buddy Wes Losner, and he actually hooked us up with that interview, which was fantastic. And that's what Eduardo was like. He was like, I kind of just wrote this story out of all the stories I ever heard and came up with something that was, of my own. And I was like, that's, the director, the script writer, but you get my point. They told a story unlike any other story that had been told before, yet it was still based in the same kind of setting that every other Bigfoot story has to get told, because these are creatures of the woods. Unless you're urban Sam Squinch,
suburban
around
Sam
neighborhoods,
Squinch.
right? Suburban Sam Squinch. That's right.
Exactly. Or better yet, Bigfoot in space.
Oh yeah, baby, Bigfoot in space. I don't know how that would work out. Dude, that would be fake. Bigfoot stows aboard like the space shuttle or something in a box. Like the top men put the wrong box on the space shuttle. They're supposed to be taking the Ark of the Covenant to the moon, and all of a sudden they put the frozen Bigfoot box in there instead. So when they get up in space, he unfreezes and comes to life, and boom, Bigfoot in space.
Alien meets Bigfoot.
That's right. Copyright 2017. Collier, Wilmes and Kelly Productions for script writing. For script writing, Steas.
We are gonna take what Dear God No did, and we're one-upping it on the Grindhouse scale.
Turning it in space. That's right. Dear God No meets exists in space. The astronaut somehow killed the phantom cloaked baby Bigfoot on their way to space, and Daddy Sasquatch is there for revenge.
And guess who's starring? Tom Cruise is running, but there's nowhere to run when you're in space.
Hey, whatever you do, don't travel with
Tom Hanks. Squatch.
Okay, we're getting way off topic here. So let's get back to the grindstone here. All right, next item on your list there, sir.
Basically, I wanted to go over like the top Bigfoot movie recommendations before going into why would Bigfoot as a subgenre be so popular. So what I have I wanted to sort of go back and forth as our picks. I wanted to go with my pick first is Boggy Creek 1 and 2. Not Return to Boggy Creek, Boggy Creek The Legend Continues 2.
Now, is that the one with Tanya? And we're gonna need more of the 4-wheel drive. Get out of this hole.
Yeah, we're gonna need more 4-wheel drive. That's why I had to preface by saying not the Return to Boggy Creek with the little two stupid kids.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the catfish, T-fish. What are you doing, T-fish? T-fish, catfish, T-fish. Don't do that, T-fish.
It's bad when even the director says that didn't happen. No, we don't acknowledge that.
Paint a Play-Doh too. I mean, that was the girl from Different Strokes that ended up killing herself. Oh,
sad day.
I'm not going old school for number one. My number one Bigfoot movie is probably Dear God.
No.
And it's just because I love grindhouse movies, and somebody did a grindhouse Bigfoot movie that is so disturbing, and horrific that it earns the title of horror movie. Where everything else is a scary movie, it's a scare movie. It's designed to scare you. Dear God, no, it's literally just horrific spectacle to watch. That's what a horror movie was supposed to be, not comical deaths with a punchline. And that's what horror movies turned into, where, really, almost snuff film like is what it was. So Dear God, no, with an aftertaste of Exists.
Yeah.
Are my top two movies, because Exist was pretty brutal too.
Yeah. And I just want to say, for at least on my side, I never put movies in order because I'm that type of guy that I just can't pick one movie. But the second pick I have on my list is Harry and the Hendersons.
Harry and the Hendersons, that's right. What happens when a retired SNL actor meets a retired divorced mom actor and two bad kids? That's right, Harry and the Hendersons. Bring him on home and he'll destroy your house too.
They don't run over a baby Bigfoot. They run over a grown-ass Bigfoot and don't end up getting torn limb from limb.
Hendersons is probably 80% of the Bigfoot people's world's community, whatever you want to call them, that's probably their favorite movie because it depicts Sasquatch in such a way that it's a highly intelligent, almost human-like creature that's benign to hurting anything, a complete vegetarian, and would be capable of socialization if given enough time.
Basically the poster boy of everything people want Bigfoot to be.
No, that's not what I want Bigfoot to be. But
everybody is
that's what Friends of the Forest people would like Bigfoot to be. And, a bear's like that. Do you want to go up and hug a bear? I don't want to go up and hug a bear because I know what that'll do. But, bears are like that. They're mostly vegetarians. They really don't eat a lot of meat. They're pretty much benign to most animals. They don't really hunt down and kill things unless they really are hungry and there's nothing else to eat or they're defending something. I'm not really interested in going up and hugging a bear. So going up and being able to hug a Sam Squanch is just not something I'm really interested all that much in doing. A dead one, maybe. I might go up and hug the first dead one I see on a gurney going, oh, thank God it's over. Oh, I'm so sorry you had to die. I'm so sorry they shot you through your face. Where you go? Can I get your toe? Just your little toe. I'm just gonna. I know it's gonna hurt for a minute. There you go. Thank you, because I'm gonna take a piece of your toe.
And for the Friends of the Forest people, they'll go up and hug it, and the Bigfoot's gonna be like, twist their head around,
like a scene from Valley of the Sasquatch, which is coming soon under a stupid other title. I don't remember what the new title is. I'm sorry, Doug. I should remember.
I think it was Hunting Grounds.
Maybe, yeah, that's horrible. That's just a horrible name. There was like a horror porn rape friggin' movie called Hunting Grounds. Anyhow, moving right along.
We're getting off topic again.
Hey, it happens. We can diddle our finger in any hole we want. We're live on the Squatchers Lounge podcast. That's right, live on Sex Talk. Next on Sex Talk Live with the Rev. How to diddle your finger in any hole you want. Get away with it. So Harry and the Hendersons is next on your list. I dig Harry and the Hendersons, yes. I'm glad they spent a whole crap load of money doing it because it's probably the only, and it's not believable. Woods, I would know that was not a real creature in every shape of the way. But it still was cool. They spent a lot of money. All the animatronics and stuff in it was cool. All the behind the scenes stuff for that. Get the DVD and watch all the behind the scenes stuff because it's really freaking cool.
I think that's what sort of set me on the path to making my own Bigfoot, because I was just watching the behind the scenes and I was just like, wow, I would love to make something like that. 5 years later,
I watch all those shows. Yeah, I watch all those shows, all those FX shows, because I wish I could do that. I can't do that. I can't even draw a stick figure. So like the design period, I would fail right there. I can't even play Hangman. That's how bad I can't draw. Okay, so Harry and the Hendersons.
And your next pick?
What's your? Yeah. Oh God. Sasquatch Mountain, I think, was probably as enjoyable in the horror genre as Harry and the Hendersons was. But if we're picking those kind of cutesy-dootsy movies, Bigfoot, The Incredible Journey with the little kid from Full Time. The Bigfoot got hurt, and the script had the Bigfoot lay down in the creek and wash that wound clean and, pack it and put pressure on, as though the animal would know how to give first aid to itself rather than just sit there and bleed out. I thought that was pretty cool at the time. As I get older, that's giving it way too many human. Yeah, a bear would lay down in the creek, but it's not packing it with dirt or anything. It's just laying down the creek because it hurts.
That, and also it's hard to not like a movie where you find Bigfoot fighting a frickin' bear.
Yeah, that was probably one of the most epic Bigfoot movie scenes ever, is the Bigfoot versus a real bear. They literally had a dude in a Bigfoot scene fight a trained bear. And that was pretty legit. Although who would do that?
Next time that you're fighting with somebody on Bigfoot being real or anything to do with Bigfoot, just yell at them. Bigfoot versus bear. Your topic, your argument is hereby invalid.
There you go. That's right. I think Bigfoot wins because he's got hands. I think he can get a leg lock on the bear. I think he can get a leg lock on the bear and break one of the legs of the bear, and then, bear's out of commission. MMA style, bitches. That's right. If you say that Bigfoot's smart enough to fix a wound, I say he can put him in a Pseudo-Conrad leg lock.
But hurry before Joe Rogan ruins it for Rev.
That's right. Oh, did I catch hell for poo-pooing Joe Rogan and his crap? But Joe Rogan's just a douche canoe. I'm sorry. I'll say it again right here live on the air, everybody. I can't stand Joe Rogan. I think he's a douche canoe.
Before we continue with the politics, my next pick, I'm actually going to switch around because this relates to what you said. I had Sasquatch Mountain on mine, purely for the fact that was actually the first Bigfoot horror movie I saw. And
Sasquatch Mountain is pretty legit. It's one we just recently did, and I gave it like 4 out of 5 stars on the old, and your old pal Wes gave it like 5 squatches, man, like really like up there with Exists. And I agree. I mean, Sasquatch Mountain is the
same reason that Wes loves it. I love it because of freaking Lance Hendrickson. Also, they showed a smart way of using their Bigfoot suit. That, from what I saw of the little like behind the scenes stuff, they didn't have that quite as good of a Bigfoot suit. Probably about the same quality I ended up with. So,
see, for that, I would have to say Abominable would be comparable to that, because Abominable was a pretty legit scary type of attack suit. Yeah, I mean, it really, other than the snake jaw,
and the constant crapping face, like,
right. Well,
that's why Bigfoot in that movie was so pissed he was constipated the whole time.
You know, as a filmmaker, how difficult it is to have constant different masks to give different impressions. You'd constantly be changing. You'd have to have 25 heads, just to make it smile.
Oh,
Be like claymation.
25 heads to make it smile. It just depends on the budget that the film has and what each head can do, because there are certain heads that can go to certain extents with their emotions, but they can't bring it like all the way to like a full-on somebody screenshot that.
And your video is out of sync again, which is fantastic.
Oh boy.
It's okay. All right, so what's next up on your list there?
And the last thing I have is Exists.
Yeah, and I know which one goes on. I know where that goes on your list for sure.
It's definitely up there. I don't like these favorites, but come on, it exists.
Cameron tells me that it was actually called Bigfoot: The Unforgettable Encounter.
See, this is what we have Cameron here for.
Exactly. He is the king of the historical information that is Bo Show. Now, I'm going to put up against your opposite. Tell us why you like Exists, and then I'll tell you what I think of the Willow Creek.
All right. What I think of Exists is they had in my opinion, they had a really good Bigfoot suit. It was a very good makeup when they got the actor in full-on makeup, applied by, I believe, the great Bruce Spalding Fuller. And they had a great suit actor, the great Brian Steele, and they knew to not hold on it. And that's something that a lot of people fall into, is they want to show off their monster. They want to.
Damn it! We spent $15,000 on that suit, and it's only on screen for 8.5 seconds. Yeah, that's how you make it scary, dumbass. I don't care. Put it on screen longer.
Exactly. I remember when I first saw Exists, I was just like going through. After I watched the movie, I was like, "Wait, that was it? That's all we saw? The creature?" And at first I was like, what the heck? And then I thought, well, you know what? That's actually why it sticks in your head better. Because it's like the great Tom Savini described
because it was scary.
Building up a really good scare is not showing as much because your mind fills in the blanks.
Yeah, it's like you show them a shadow of the explosive, but don't actually show them the explosive, because your mind then fills in what the explosive actually is, and then when it blows up, it's just like, woo, you were right, or that was, or sadly you were wrong. Now, see, what I can't stand about Willow Creek is exactly what I did love about Exists. Exists had a fantastic. The suit was awesome. The suit actor knew what he was doing. The director, of course, being Eduardo Sanchez, knew what the hell he was doing.
He's been wanting to make that movie for 10 years.
That helps a lot. Willow Creek didn't even have a Bigfoot in it. Sort of like we were talking about the Lost Coast tapes. Lost Coast tapes has a Bigfoot in it, so it's actually a tick up from Willow Creek because they at least made some effort to put a sense of a Bigfoot in the movie. But Willow Creek was just a complete, total, utter.
It took
letdown.
What was good about Exists and took it to the extreme, which in filmmaking,
the extreme shitty side.
Yeah, the extreme shitty side. Which, when you take anything to the extreme, you're bound to be asking for trouble, pretty much.
Naked lady with a tiger. That's what we usually call Willow Creek, because that's the only thing I can remember. Were tiger calls and a naked lady.
Yeah,
there were no Bigfoot in it. There was a lot of advice given to Bobcat by a lot of people, and I know these people, and they thought it would come off cool in a movie, but I got news for you. It didn't.
Yeah.
It didn't even come off scary. It just came off weird. It came off like the weirdos of Willow Creek. Now, if this was a movie about weirdos of Willow Creek, then you hit it right on the nose. If you wanted to feel like you were, lost in Tweakerville and people were screaming out like tigers and naked ladies were following you around to your campsite, then you won. But if you wanted to make it feel like a Bigfoot movie, in my world, I think you failed like miserably.
Yeah.
I don't care. Bobcat, you're a cool dude and all, but you listened to the wrong advice.
Yeah.
Felt like Lost in Tweakerville, the Willow Creek edition.
And just the idea of a Bigfoot movie with absolutely no sign of Bigfoot anywhere just feels like a ripoff. Like, you need to at least have a silhouette, I believe. I would be happy if a movie went through the whole movie and you didn't technically see the Bigfoot, but you just saw its silhouette, its shadow. Just show any of it.
It's like when you call a dancer and you thought she was an escort.
Exactly.
No, you can't touch. Wait, what the hell number did I call? I gotta give a shout out to like digital shorts. The small Bigfoot stuff, like the Bigfoot chasers. Those kids, they would do a minute or a minute and a half YouTube clip on it, and they did, a couple of seasons of that. No one would pay them to do it, so they stopped doing it. But I loved them. I thought they were great. I thought they were funny. They didn't have to have a Bigfoot in it because it was about the Bigfoot chasers. So if you want to call a movie like the Bigfoot Hunters movie, they didn't have a fantastic Bigfoot suit in it, but this was really the first kind of Bigfoot comic book type movie that I've seen done. And in the comedy genre of Bigfoot, there isn't a whole lot of entries. Strange Wilderness. Strange Wilderness is the comedy Bigfoot guy kind of turn to. It's probably my favorite.
Yeah. It's not like a big part of the Bigfoot genre, but it's definitely there. It's got like, I still argue that Harry and the Hendersons, even though it's a kid movie, it's a comedy.
Yes, but, it's definitely a comedy. It's got John Lithgow in it.
Yeah. I don't know. John Lithgow's done a bunch of serious stuff though.
Well, yeah, but he was a Saturday Night Live actor, so there's that. Gonna live in a van down by the river. That wasn't him, but still, you get the idea. So where are we at on your list there, Chief? Where you need to be getting this wrapped up tonight?
Since we're getting close to wrapping up, I wanted to just discuss why is Bigfoot such a popular genre when it comes to stuff where it's pretty much up there with stuff like the zombie genre or werewolf genres as a subgenre.
Yeah, I mean, it's always kind of been there. Bigfoot, in the crypto movie world of scary things, Bigfoot has kind of always been there. There's never really a time that I can think of that some big documentary or some big epic movie or several epic movies didn't come out, even within, the same 2 or 3 year period. I mean, Bigfoot has kind of always been naggingly there in the weird world stuff.
Yeah, and it's just like, when you think about it, why aren't any like other cryptids popular in film? And maybe it's because the fact that, like, you sort of take opposition with so many things, that Bigfoot is a type of movie character that we as an audience and as filmmakers can cast so many human traits onto.
Right. You can make him scarier by the more human you make him, the scarier you make him to people. And that the more you make that thing think, the scarier you make it to people. Even people like me, because I won't give it the credit that it thinks extensively until it's proven to me, because no other great apes, including us, do. Why would this thing be super intelligent? Why would this thing be any smarter than us? If that were the case, we'd be the ones living in the mountains in small numbers, and they'd be living in Seattle.
Yeah.
So careful what you wish for, people. If Sasquatch really is that intelligent, we may be switching places real soon.
Who says they haven't already?
Well, yeah, I've seen some hairy MFers around this joint, dude. There very well could be a Sasquatch takeover. But why isn't it the Dogman? Not werewolves. Because werewolves are different. Dogman, does Dogman even have a movie?
Only one. I think it's the Beast of Bray Road.
Okay, and that's not even necessarily the dog man. That's a folklore of the Beast of Bray Road that, what about skinwalkers? Do we even have a decent? I mean, there's like one or two, but
Yeah.
are there really any good
I believe there's like a
skinwalkers?
handful of even Loch Ness Monster. I believe there's only a handful, not counting documentaries, just straight up movies. I believe there's only like no more than 10 Loch Ness Monster movies. Prove me correct me if I'm wrong.
A sea monster movie would be legit. Dude, like Kraken. That's one of my favorite scenes from the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. Are the Kraken scenes when it crushes boats and stuff. I mean, that's just so scary to me because I've been in the ocean where there's 7 miles of water underneath you.
Yeah.
7 miles straight down of nothing but friggin' water. What is down there? I really don't want to meet. I just want to kind of go across the top of this real right quick. Excuse me, Mr. Sea Monster of the Deep. Just let me use the surface right quick, and I'll be out your way. Yeah, sea monsters are kind of scare me like a lot because I've been on the water and had some really weird things happen. Like a submarine, poof, just pops up out the water. Kind of scary when you're in a little boat.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, boom, boom. Hey,
fine with.
McHale's friggin' army. McHale's Navy. Sorry, I'm tired. I'm not feeling it. Anyhow, moving right along here. We got to get this wrapped up. We've already gone on this mess. But yeah, I'm not really sure why Sasquatch Bigfoot is such a draw to movie people, but it is. People will go and watch. Well, not so much go and watch them in the theaters anymore because we don't have drive-ins. We don't have B movie houses that play first-run B movies for $1 anymore. We don't have any of that. So we literally have to wait for them to find somebody that might get a $10,000 DVD distribution deal before we even get to see it. And then it's going to be all edited up to whoever that jackass's will is. So...
yeah. So I think that should probably wrap up. Enough. We've said enough of what we've got on this whole subject. I could honestly talk about it for hours, but
that would be really friggin' boring, though. We need to break that up into a bunch of different segments so that people don't cry.
Who says they're not already crying?
Oh, they're probably out there crying. I'm sure that
I'm sorry, Rob. I'm sorry, Star. I'm sorry, Dean.
You don't have to be sorry. It's been good. Remember, kumbaya, my squatch. Kumbaya,
my squatch.
Kumbaya, my squatch. Kumbaya. That's right. So we'll get it going here, and we'll get our little drum beats going and some jingle bells going and see if we can't figure this mantra out before next week.
And since we're talking about Bigfoot movies, I thought now would be an appropriate time to give the Squatchers Lounge watchers an update on Boss of the Forest.
Boss of the Forest. Of course you can, sir.
We are almost to our first rough cut, which still we're far away from being released, and we've had a couple of sucker punches that hit us that might have to change the whole film project, but it's still coming along. We're rolling with the punches, and the first short is halfway there.
Halfway there, sort of, kind of. Like a punch in the nuts while you're sleeping, Boss of the Woods is coming.
Exactly.
Sorry.
Boss of the Forest is going to punch you right in your nuts.
That's right. Boss of the Forest punching you in the nuts on Friday night. Next on Sex Talk Live at the Rev. Okay, we're out of here, people.
I was going to say, soon we're going to have a podcast, too.
Oh, yeah, don't forget, Nocturnal Emissions with Cole is coming. That's just a temporary working name.
Right now, it's Urban Legends Anonymous.
Oh, that's
Come
right.
all you wayward souls.
Bring your crazy ass in for a look at urban legends, conspiracy theories, from locals to who killed JFK. You never know what Cole's going to be talking about on Nocturnal Emissions. I mean,
we'll get it, Rev.
Urban Legends Anonymous. Yeah, that's what it's going to be. All right, folks, we're gonna wrap this thing up out of here tonight because my voice is pretty much done. I will have an after hangout tonight, so if you guys want to hang out just a little bit, I will be glad to do that because I'm really not doing anything else. I'll be glad to send you a link and we can do an after hangout for a bit with our co-host superfan, Mr. Cole Wilmes, the mastermind behind Sasquatch, boss of the force.
Oh, there's that ugly mug.
There you go. Don't forget, Bigfoot Campfire Stories are burning up the views. Bigfoot Entertainment Weekly on Monday night. Y'all ain't got to go home, but you got to get the hell up out of here. Mr. Squatch, be with you.
Bum bum.
Bigfoot Wars, that's right. C. Thomas Howell, Judd Nelson. You see where my arrow is.
Exactly. If I had an arrow, it would be pointing to Valley of the Sasquatch.
Alley of the Sasquatch.
Oh, I mean hunting ground.
Well, no, it's Valley of the Sasquatch in the UK. It's going to get really confusing. Good night, everybody.
Night.